tonight at all. Just wanna watch them stars fall. But you don't wanna try to make up dreams just to be seen. I wanna lay here beside you, oh quiet. Fire breath and open sky. It's not what we know, it's where we go. I grow wings and tell her goodbye. Oh, it's not what we see, it's what we choose to be.
Welcome to Meadow Sweet Farm Fiber Arts Design Studio. My name's Bonnie, and you are most welcome here in my little corner of the world in southwestern Pennsylvania. This episode is pretty packed. We've got some projects that I've been working on here at the house. I've got a quilt that I'd like to share with you. It's in the process of being put together. I did some solar dyeing, natural dyes, using solar energy, and I also have some finished objects and some new works in progress and a few acquisitions. So why don't you grab yourself a cup of tea, a cup of coffee, your favorite cold drink, and sit back and relax as I share with you my little piece of the world in southwestern Pennsylvania. Thank you for joining me.
It's not what we know, it's where we go. I grow wings and tell worry goodbye.
Okay, I guess I'll start off with my chores, and I wanted to share this project that I have. I have this bench on my back porch, and it's been here for probably 10 years, maybe longer, but look at it. I have a groundhog on my back porch, and it is literally eating the wood on this bench. Here's the best part. Look at what he did. So I'm gonna sand that down, and I am gonna repaint this and hopefully spray some peppermint spray all around it so this groundhog doesn't chew it anymore. So I decided to go with mustard colored paint, and I went to Lowe's, and this is a brand new paint. It's milk paint, and I thought I'd give it a try, and I'm really happy with the results. It's not a shiny paint. It has kind of a chalky feel to it, a chalky look to it, but I really like it a lot. It went on really smooth, and it shows a little bit of the dark color underneath, which I really like that a lot, and it really does brighten up my porch. Since I got the new bees, I have to make sure they have food. So I am mixing up 8 pounds of sugar with 8 pounds of water. So that equals out to a gallon of water and 4 pounds of sugar. So I boil that, and then I mix, it's like a supplement for the bees, and I will go over and give them some of this sugar water. Got my little smoker. See, they go into, this is one all the way there. There we go. But they go in the bottom, and then the hives or the frames are all inside. So far, this is both of these boxes are brand new. So we've just got the two boxes right now, but we'll keep adding as they get bigger. So they're under this pretty apple tree, and they've got lots of clover, white clover, yellow clover, that they can use, and I'm going to try to plant some lavender in this area. Okay, here we go. This is a quilt top that I bought years ago at an Amish auction. I think it looks, Samantha said it looked like a puzzle, so I think it's some kind of, I don't know what the pattern is. I haven't looked it up, but I think there is something called a puzzle. It is machine pieced, and what I think is really interesting is they've used like this light lavender for this background squares, and then the border is a little darker lavender, which is kind of interesting. I love that they use the fabrics that they have. There is a tear. I just showed you the little rip. I have to repair that. But what I'm going to do is, rather than quilt this together, there's the tear. I think I'm going to tie it. So I'll do quilt tying with this. This quilt is absolutely huge. It's definitely king size. So follow along with me as I piece this together. It's really hard to try to find the space to work on this. Here's the back of it, and you can see they must have used probably some kind of treadle sewing machine, and they didn't really worry much about opening those seams or matching the corners together perfectly. They just did what they needed to do. So here is the backing that I'm going to use. So I was cutting all the pieces together, and this was a feat to try to get everything all pinned together so I can take this to the sewing machine and sew up the back panels. There are 3 back panels. And here I am finishing that job up. I have finally put the last stitches, picot edging, on the Surprise Party Shawl by Helen Stewart. So I am going to soak this in some wool wash and let that sit for a little bit. So this is my natural dyes, and I thought I'd try some solar dyeing. And I am so glad that I took this video earlier, because I set this out in the sun and it rained and it washed away all the tags. So luckily I can identify what is what. So I will share with you. I use logwood, and I used some natural dyes that, like the gallnut, I've never used that before, or I don't know anyone that's ever used that before. This is another one that I can't pronounce, that I've never used before, so I'm going to have to look these up. And the cochineal I'm definitely familiar with, and that one I'm kind of familiar with, but not much. So I will be back and I will show you the finished yarn and what the end results look like. But I am really, really glad I took this video early on, because the names of the yarns are completely washed out. Hi guys. It's heading towards the end of July, and what I think is working really well for me is when I do some filming, as I'm working on projects and doing stuff around the farm, I just turn the camera on, and then once I get everything all pulled together, then I have a quick little chat with you and just kind of give you an update on my project. So this seems to be a good format for me, so I think I'm gonna just stick with this. So, but I wanted to show you a couple things. So let's see. Well, let's start with my finished objects. So this, I finished up in like a couple days. This is the knit collage, and this is bonfire. The bonfire shawl, it's a crescent shawl. I had so much fun knitting this. It's fast. It uses 17 gauge needles, and I did talk about this on my porch, but I just wanted to show you. This is really cool. And even if you just knit one, it gave me so many great ideas for spinning novelty yarn and using, I love spinning novelty yarn, but then it's like, now what do I do with this? So, there's a phone call. Okay, I'm back. But yeah, so my head was just going crazy with like, oh, I want to make some of this yarn. And I know I showed you this earlier, but I just love how it just, those gorgeous pink just pops. And like I said, I'm a super slow knitter, and I did this in a couple days. So this is really a super, super fun knit. And I know my 2022 pledge was not to buy any more yarn, but when the, if you go on Knit Collage's webpage, they do have this colorway that they have finished, and they have a model showing this one. So I had to. So right now I'm working on another project, and I don't know when I'll start this, but oh gosh, the yarn is just so squishy, and it's just so fun with so many surprises. This is really fun. I love this. So even if you buy the kit and just do it once, I mean, it's a little high-end for cost-wise, but it is so worth it. It is so worth it. I love this. So I have, that's probably gonna be my, my shot. But I love this. So, okay, so then, okay, so this is the surprise party shawl. I looked at my notes, and I started this early January, and I finished this, I think, like 2 weeks ago. But I absolutely love this. Now, the kit, again, I know I've said this a million times because I've been working on this for so long. The kit it's a Helen Stewart surprise party shawl pattern, curious handmade. But then the Toad Hollow girls were in Pittsburgh last year, and I went to their booth. I think it was last summer, and I went to their booth, and they made this, and this was Helen's colorway. And I bought this, and then when I got home, I thought, you know what? I like Mary Ellen's too. So I just love this. I am so happy with this. I can't wait to wear this. Right now, it is so hot out. It is really hot. It's like 90 degrees, and I do have to get out there and do some gardening. I've got to go to the grocery store, and I'm digressing here a little bit. I went to Stephen's class reunion last weekend, and they had this salad sitting. You know, sometimes when you go to the reunions, like the food is but they had this spinach salad, and it was just on a little plate with spinach, little tiny baby spinach, and then it had some strawberries just halved. And I was like, oh, well, yeah, that looks nice. The salad dressing was amazing. It was like, for such a simple salad, this was the best salad I've ever had. And it was lemon dressing. So I tried to get the recipe from the waitress, and they're like, no, we can't give you our recipe. So I looked it up in the internet. There's some that they use honey, but it's just really simple. It's just vegetable oil and lemon and sugar, and I think white vinegar, and that's it. And it is just delicious. So if you can go and Google the recipe for lemon dressing, I'm gonna run to the store. I think what I'm gonna do is, you know, kind of doctor it up a little bit and add some feta cheese, and I'm gonna roast some pecans and have that for salad dinner for tonight. So, so yeah, so that's good. So anyway, let me just take this off. I love this. I really do. I'm really happy, and I do have Mary Ellen's kit, and I am gonna I'm gonna make that. That's in my pile of stuff to make. Okay. So finally, I have been wanting to cast on the Planting Seeds, shawl by Helen Stewart. She's my hero. If I ever met her in person, I don't know, I probably would be tongue-tied. I just love her patterns. I mean, they're just amazing. They're just, everything is written out. You never lose your place. You always know where you are. She's just amazing. So, but let me just show you. Okay, so here is the Planting Seeds. And the other color I'm using, I have little pieces of green. So the colors that I'm using, this is the main color, and then this is color B, one of the accent colors, and the other ball I have in a bag on my front porch, and it's, how professional is this? It's that color. So there, it's that color. So these are the three colors, and I started it, and I got to right there, and I was just chugging along and just loving the stitch pattern and having a great time, but I kept looking at it going, something's wrong. The yellow doesn't seem to be popping. And here I screwed up. I made a mistake, so I had to rip it back, and I seriously had to rip it all the way back to right there. So, oh well. So, this is where I am at this point. But what I was after was this pink color. I just wanted to, you know, flowers, planting seeds, the colors in the spring, and then of course the yellow being the sunshine, and the green being, you know, the stems of the flowers and the green grass and all that happy stuff. So at first when I was doing the yellow, I was like, oh, I don't know if I like it, but because of what it represents to me, I am such a big gardener, especially this summer. I am so proud of my garden, and I will do some filming. I did a little bit of filming with the scarecrow, but I'm just really proud of what I've been doing here, you know, just keeping up with the weeds, and it's really been, you know, you just really have to be devoted, and you just have to say you're gonna, you know, go out and do certain things every day. And so, you know, I've just really been enjoying it and just really seeing how things have blossomed. My daughter's been coming out, and she, you know, she's been really happy, you know, being here on the farm and just enjoying the, you know, just enjoying the landscaping that I've been doing. The other big thing that I'm working on right now at the moment is I have a contractor who's going to be converting my garage to my studio space. And, you know, it sounds like the only thing he has to do is put the doors on, and then he's got to put, it's a concrete floor in there because it's garage, so he's going to put flooring in there. So, but it sounds like, oh, that's an easy thing to do, but I have all my looms right now in the garage, and it's like a mixture of garage stuff with loom stuff, and I had to make space to put some of my antique looms up in the barn. And I have in my head the ideas of which looms are going to go in the studio space, and then I have a really huge loft area in above my barn, and I can set those looms up when I want, you know, and to maybe have special events here and things like that, which I'm not going to talk about on this podcast, but I have some ideas rolling around in my head. But anyway, so I had to make space because just, I don't know about you, but over the years, if you get busy, you just throw stuff in places where it's not really used, or there's not really a lot of heavy traffic. So it just kind of just clutters, and you don't really have an organization. So what I had to do was I had to clean out the little shed to make room for all the garage stuff that's going to go in there. And then I had to clean out the area above the barn to make room for the looms and other stuff. So, and then in the meantime, just getting all the landscaping and everything here and getting the garden in, and it has been a blast. I have loved every second of it. It has just really been so much fun for me. A lot of work, a ton of work, but I've really enjoyed it. So I'm at the point now where the buildings are cleaned out, and now little by little I can start taking things from the garage and placing them in an organized space in the buildings that they need to go into, and I'll be able to find stuff. So I did clean up my sewing room upstairs. I organized all the books and categories. I mean, this has just been a summer of, you know, cleanup. I've organized the basement, which that's going to be more organization in the winter. I figured I'd save that for the winter. But I'm just really happy I've got things where I can actually find things, because I just would be in a hurry and I would just throw things in piles, and then after a while you don't want to look at that pile anymore, so you just stuff it somewhere. And I just, you know, I have so many beautiful things, so much fabric and yarn that I want to, and equipment that I want to use, and you know, when you have to rummage through a million things, you kind of lose interest in doing that. So now everything is where I can find it, and I'm just really excited. I forgot how I was leading to that. I can't remember what I was saying. But anyway, so this is the Helen Stewart. I think I was just talking about flowers and how proud I was of my garden, and I went off on a tangent. But anyway, so this is the Helen Stewart, and I'm hoping that it's not going to take me 6 months to finish this. What my plan is to do the Gudrun Johnson hat. I made one and I got a new colorway, so I'm gonna make another one, and that's next. And then I have a couple other kind of winter shawls that I want to work on. But then the very last thing that I want to show you here today is I've been playing with natural dyes, and because I'm now so organized, I was able to find all my dye stuff, like my natural dye powders and all the things that I've been just dying to use. So this is Windsong, and it's Wensleydale. I bought a whole bunch of natural yarns with this. This is a lace weight yarn, and I've been doing some experimenting with different plant materials that I gather here on the farm, but I thought, you know, I'm gonna use some of the dye stuff that I've had for several years, and I wanted to try solar dyeing. So what I did is I soaked the skeins in alum, and then I put the dye powder in water, and then you know, stirred it all up, and then I put the skeins in, they're like really large mason jars, and I showed you my little video. So I want to tell you about the colors, because what happened was I set everything out in the sun after I put all the skeins in the dye baths in the jars, and then I didn't realize that, gee, it might rain on these, and I used magic marker, and I labeled all the jars, and of course it just washed away the labels.
So this was just strictly, I didn't follow a recipe. I just thought, I'm just gonna try this and see what happens. So this is just kind of a hodgepodge beginning experiment, but I do have to say, I love using natural dyes with yarns. I will continue to do this. I am really excited about knitting and weaving with these colors. No matter what color you use, they all just work so beautifully together. I just feel like I'm in my garden when I'm looking at the yarns. They're just so pretty. So this is a mistake. This is gallnut, and I didn't know it, but gallnut, it will dye a tan, but it is used primarily as a mordant. So I'm gonna dunk this in something else. I don't know what, but it is not all that pretty. It's just tan. But the other colors, oh my gosh. So I posted these on Instagram if you follow me. And my daughter saw one and she's like, Mom, this is the one she saw. What is that? Okay, so this one is cochineal. And I love, you know, because this is solar dyed and it's in that jar and the colors aren't even, I love it. I love that it's just kind of mottled. I just think it's really, really pretty. So this is cochineal. And then the yarn is super soft. And then this one, and oh, for those of you that don't know, cochineal is a little beetle bug that's found on a cactus plant. And this is fuse stick. Kind of skein it up. These colors, they just have a little bit of a mottled look to it. And oh, I love that color. That's close. But like, look, when you put these two together, it's gorgeous, gorgeous. Okay, so, and fuse stick, I think, is a bark off a tree. I looked these up and some of them I remember and some I don't. And this is, okay, Brocco yellow. And this is also, I believe, comes from a tree, and I can't remember from what country. But like it has, like when I first put this in the dye bath, it was a really like a dark, like a brownish maroon, and I just love that. This one is my favorite. My sister's a big purple person, and this just reminds me of my sister. At least she used to like purple. Barbara, do you still like purple? But this is logwood. And look how it's just got all those different colors. You know, it's just like flowers. They're not even colors all through, and that's just what I love about this. This is so natural. And when you put all of these together, it's just so pretty. And then the last one, I love this color too. And this one is pomegranate, which you wouldn't think that this would be that color, but so I have a really good book. I've watched Cabin Boy Knits, and he recommended there's like a, I think it was Cabin Boy Knits, and then also Marie from Ninja Chickens. There's like a book that's an encyclopedia, and it's really expensive on natural dyeing, and I have that book. So these were just kind of my experiments. I just wanted to play and see how much I loved doing this, which I'm hooked. I just am thrilled with this. I just think the colors are gorgeous, and that looks lovely, doesn't it? Just a big pile of yarn. But yeah, I'm really happy with this, and I'm going to continue to experiment and try different things. So the last thing, there's two other things. For those of you who watch Marie from Ninja Chickens, she has changed her name, and she is Daughters of the Red Sunset, and her website is theredsunset.com. And I've always been a big fan of hers. I love all of her makes, and I really enjoy watching some of her dyeing techniques using all the different plant material and the eco printing. She's just very, very talented. So I went on her website, and she has a tea blend that she makes herself, and this is apple cider donut tea. So this is made with, I'm going to say it wrong, rooibos, cinnamon, apple, elderberry, hibiscus, nutmeg, and vanilla. This is delicious. This is really, really good. So I've been enjoying that with the air conditioning on at night. So this is good. The other thing, I have really been enjoying all the podcasts that I've been watching. Stitches and Jack, I just absolutely love watching her. She did a June Vlogmas. Tales from Cuckoo Land. I love Gaina. Let's see, there's just so many that I watch. Let's see, oh, this is the best one. I belong to several Patreon groups as well, and the Cocktail Hour at the Coop, I am a Patreon of their site, and it's really fun. They are just really lovely people, and they got a new logo, and they sent me this little sticker, and I just really like it a lot. So if you can, to subscribe to some of the Patreon sites, it's really worth it. And most of them are just, they don't cost really all that much, and it's just such a great opportunity to meet people and to just be a part of this knitting community. Like I said, Stitches and Jacks. Knitting Stew is one I just found today. I'll make a list of all of them because I really want to acknowledge all the hard work that these folks, you know, they just put so much time and energy into their filming and their podcast. Knitting Traditions is another one. Yeah, it's really been fun to be a part of this community. So I've been on here for longer than I expected, but again, I just wanted to thank all of you for subscribing. If you're a new viewer, give me a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button. And I hope to be back on next month in August with some more fun and more shenanigans here related to knitting, spinning, and weaving. So thank you so much, and I will talk to you all soon. So, hi, Mom. Bye for now, everybody. Take care.